Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Battle Call Meteorfire from Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures. So this is the new Gimmick line, supposed to be voice activated. It's got lights in the chest. I'm not 100% sure how this works yet because the box really doesn't tell you anything. I'm surprised it doesn't have like a try me or something. I guess they just didn't want people shouting into the toys at the store. I don't know. But in any case, it says Battle Call. It just says voice activated play. I'm assuming directions inside the box will tell us how to actually use it. It looks like he's got some Energon shielding pieces and accessories. But yeah, so this is Meteorfire. As far as I know, he never appeared in the show. I guess they got canceled before they got that far. Not really sure. But you still have kind of a general open packaging. Not really too much going on the bottom. I believe that's saying that the batteries are included. At least I'm hoping so, because I don't have 3 little watch batteries, but we'll see how it goes. Standard Autobot picture on the side. This says Trooper Class, so I don't know if that's new or not. Pretty cool picture of Meteorfire there on the side. And then on the back, it just kind of shows clipping on the Energon pieces. I gotta say, I'm not too crazy about that vehicle mode, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the packaging. So I'm going to get them out of here, figure out how it works, and then we'll take a closer look. So here is Meteorfire out of the box, and I actually like the robot mode. I think it actually looks pretty cool. I like the design of the chest. I think the color scheme works. The face sculpt is pretty cool. I like the visor. The light blue with the silver, and then the dark blue is a good color scheme for the head. Nice paint here. Silver paint's very nice. Autobot symbol. So overall, I mean, he's got a bit of a backpack, but overall I like the robot mode. I think it looks pretty cool. Head does not move at all. You have a swivel here in the shoulder. You have out to the side in the shoulder. You do not have a bicep swivel. You have pretty much 90 degrees in the elbow. The wrist is all one solid piece, so the hand is actually just painted. You can see it's not even, it's one solid piece with the arm. Nothing in the waist. You have a ball joint in the hip. You have 90 degrees in the knee. And then you have a little bit of movement here, but that's for the transformation. It almost doesn't stay in or stay out as well as it should. But he's got nice big feet with heels, so he's not really going to fall over. The hips are a little loose, which is a bummer, but I think he'll be okay. He does have some little Energon bits. He's got this chest piece, which has 2 pegs. Let's just peg into those 2 holes right there on the chest. So you just go ahead, peg that on. He's got these 2 little blades, which peg into these little pegs here on the side and give him some cool little bladed wrist blade type. I don't know what you'd call it. Just we'll call them wrist blades, which is actually kind of cool. I like that. I think that's kind of neat. And then these pieces, I think they're just supposed to go like in here or something. They peg onto the wings in the vehicle mode. And since it's the same wings here on his back, just flipped around, I think you can peg them in. So if you want to armor him up completely with all the Energon parts, you have that. Now, as far as the gimmick goes, I didn't even notice there's a very obvious switch right here on his shoulder. You can see on and off. So if you just turn it on, it lights up. Got a little light up chest. And it actually doesn't know what you're saying. It just responds to noise. So if you just talk, if you just talk long enough, you can kind of see, like, if I'm quiet, but then when I start to talk, it glows louder, or yeah, louder. So basically, let me start this again. How it works is you turn it on and then the LED lights up. It reacts to literally any sound. So if there's no sound, it'll just kind of stay dim, but then as you start to talk, or I guess you could probably even play music, I would assume any noise would work, it starts to glow brighter, and then after a while with sound, it starts to flash red. So that's it. It doesn't respond to commands because there's nothing on the box. I was looking at everything and I'm trying to figure out, are there phrases it reacts to? So I was like, transform, attack, fire, you know, just trying some random things that I thought, you know, kind of typical transformery type words. Nothing was happening, but I noticed the light was just glowing brighter. So it just reacts to any sound. So all you have to do is talk and then it'll eventually flash red and then rinse, repeat. And that's really all that it does there. So we'll go ahead and get into transformation. I've removed all the Energon bits. I wanted to show real quick, just so you could see the light without the Energon shield on the front, so you can get a closer, kind of better look at it. And I'm just keep talking, and eventually it'll flash red. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, I know you can hear me. I see you flashing. Come on, flash red, do something cool. There you go. So, just wanted to show that off without the Energon shield on the front. So, transformation is actually pretty simple. You're going to come around to the back. This whole backpack is going to unpeg, and it's very loosely pegged with these little tabs right here and here, and they tab into these little spots right there. Let me get closer so you can actually see what I'm talking about. This little nubbin right there and that little spot right there. So, you just unhook it from that. It comes all the way around, clips into place like so. You're going to spin the wings around like that. You're going to come down. So this is where it gets a little weird, but well, first you can go ahead and just peg the legs together. That's not weird. That's very simple. Come on. I say it's simple and then it won't do it. So there you go. You peg that together. So, and I like to kind of move the arms off to the side. So you can see this gray piece here. This needs to kind of come away. And it's a little bit easier said than done. There we go. Okay, so that comes away. Then this disconnects here. So you can see it was pegged in there so that this can flip around. Then you're going to straighten out the arms, and you can see how they have a massive tab spot that hangs out here. That's going to peg in there. So you just peg that into the wing like so. And then you're going to kind of stretch this out. This will go back up and peg in where it was. And then this will all come up. And you can see that there are two tabs inside here, right here and here, which are going to peg in here and here. And then these tabs here and here are going to peg in right there and there. So you just bring this up, peg it into the legs first, and then peg it into this. And there you go. And then you just push those feet up like I mentioned earlier. And that kind of shows off some thrusters in the back. And then this came unpegged. So, yeah, the wings and the arms, they're not great as far as staying pegged into each other. But there you go. There is your incredibly boxy jet mode. So, yeah, I mean, I assume that this unit here has to stay, you know, completely intact because of the electronics, and I get that. But I feel like they could have done something a little better. It's really what bothers me more than anything. I could forgive the kind of, let me zoom out a little bit here. I could forgive this entire like boxy plane area. It's these shoulder pads that they just make no attempt to hide at all. What bothers me the most. Even if they could just like fold in 90 degrees just so they were against the jet or something. Just something. The rest of it doesn't bother me nearly as much as that does. But the arms would still be really exposed. So just the whole arms in general, I think, are what bother me the most with this. The gimmick can still work in this mode. You can still get at the little switch right here. So if you click that, it will light up, and then you can keep talking and get it to eventually give you some flashing red lights. If it would like to cooperate, there we go. And then you can just reach your little finger in here and turn it right off again. So now you can attach those pieces to the wings again, like I talked about. I don't really think it looks that great, but just to show off that you can do it. The other thing they tell you is if you want to store all those little bits, they want you to put these back onto the arms. Like so. So you can just store them in there. And then they want you to take the chest piece, and this is literally just going to kind of rest on here. There's like a tiny little nub right here and here that they want you to just put this and this to rest in. And it just kind of sits on there. So that's how you can store all the Energon weapons in the vehicle mode. So, yeah. That's it for that. So at the end of the day, I think this thing is alright. Let's start off. What do I like? So I like the robot mode. I think the robot mode actually looks pretty cool. I like the design. I like the color scheme. I like the head sculpt. I think it's got a decent amount of paint. I really like the silver here in the chest, and the Autobot symbol looks really sharp. The only thing is this kind of backpack on the back, but it doesn't really get in the way of anything, and it's not overly garish or anything like that, so it doesn't really bother me. Decent articulation. You know, I wish the head could kind of move from side to side. I feel like that wouldn't be a big ask. But at least you have, you know, shoulder, elbow. I don't really need the wrists to move. The hips are a little loose, but it's not a huge problem. Like I said, I like the Energon weapons. I think the little Energon armor here is kind of neat. You know, it's easy enough to take on and off, and I think it looks kind of cool. Now, as far as the whole gimmick goes, you know, I don't really understand why it needs to be voice activated. You turn it on, it glows blue for a couple seconds, then it flashes red, rinse and repeat. I feel like that could have been done on a timer. I feel like a lot of time and money went into making it voice activated, whereas if you just put in a timer or something, you'd get the same effect. If it was something where, you know, it came into the instructions and said, like, these 3 phrases trigger, you know, different, you know, something different happens, like transform is one color, attack is another color, or something, you know what I mean? Like, just something to make it a little bit more interactive or a little bit more exciting. Then I feel like the voice activation bit would be worth it. It would be validated. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, just a timer could have achieved the same effect. I don't understand why we need it to be voice activated. But in any case, it's an okay gimmick. I think it makes the toy overly expensive because if you think about it, this is kind of like a warrior class figure, but now it's $10 more because you have the voice activated gimmick in it. And I mean, the LEDs are nice. You know, I think it lights up neat, and I like the flash of red. I think that's cool. I just feel like it's not as much as it's almost like overhyped, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, the voice activated bit is not really that exciting. So the only other things, like I said, the hips on mine are a little loose. This, I feel like just by trying to touch the figure, you end up kicking the shins in halfway. I don't love that. I wish that locked in place a little better. These little bits don't really do anything for me. They just clip onto the wings, and I could do without them. I don't really care. I like the other 3 pieces. I think these are cool. The vehicle mode is not great. The fact that the shoulder pads just are out there and look really goofy in the vehicle mode bothers me. The rest of the vehicle mode doesn't bother me all that much. Transformation is, you know, decent. The arms don't really stay in place with the wings. Really, just everything about the wings and the arms for the transformation and the finished product of the vehicle mode, they're not great. Everything else seems to be okay. So, at the end of the day, is he worth $25? For a collector, I would say probably not. The only reason I picked this guy up, and I picked up the like Wild West guy as well, because they're new characters that don't have any other representation in the line yet, and I wanted to give this voice activated thing a try, see if it's worth it. I don't think I'll be buying like Bumblebee or Optimus or anybody I already have better figures of, because I've been getting the Cyberverse Build-A-Figures for them, and they're much better in my opinion. But I do like this robot mode. You know, he'll go on the shelf with the rest of my Cyberverse figures, and I don't think I regret buying him. But, you know, if they were going to do him in the Build-A-Figure line, then I would not have gotten this, and I would have just waited for that. And they might still do him in the Build-A-Figure line. I kind of doubt it. I feel like Cyberverse is probably on the way out, especially without a cartoon show to, you know, propel it forward. But they're probably already off dreaming up the next best thing. I would imagine, you know, this kind of stuff that we're starting to see is kind of the last legs. Again, pure speculation, but just kind of my guess. I think it's on its way out, and I think these battle calls are kind of the last ditch effort in this line, and then they'll probably move on to something else with a new cartoon, but only time will tell. In the meantime, I think it's okay. 25 seems a bit much, but it's an interesting gimmick. Definitely, you know, made more for kids than for collectors, but I think if a collector just wants a nice version of this character, I do think this robot mode looks pretty cool, and I think it's got decent articulation, so you can get a little goofy light-up gimmick as a bonus, I guess. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.